Welcome back. Ed Burns is a Hollywood triple threat. Writer, director, actor. He burst onto the scene 30 years ago with his indie hit, The Brothers McMullen, went on to star in films like Saving Private Ryan, but he has always stayed true to his filmmaker roots. And his latest project, called Millers in Marriage, follows three siblings as they re-examine life and love in middle age. Take a look.
You know, you never asked me about work anymore.
Babe, come on. We've been married for almost 15 years, right?
So what, you're tired of hearing about it?
You ever ask me about my work? No, never.
That's because it upsets you.
Why would that ever upset me?
Because you're either pissed off you didn't sell a painting, or you didn't get into that show or this gallery, or you're complaining you can't get your agent on the phone. I don't know. I figure I don't ask you about it. That way I can't hurt your feelings.
All right. Well, if you're worried about hurting my feelings, you failed.
Good morning. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
This is a great film with a lot of different twists. You have three siblings, three marriages, and then some.
Yep.
Lots of, I don't know, inner workings. And like, marriage at this phase is not something we often see movies about.
No, you know, it's funny. I think the original idea for the film came at a dinner party with, like, friends in their 50s.
Yeah.
And we were talking about, like, indie cinema in the 90s.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you were a Gen Xer, right, in your 20s, every experience you had, there was a movie about it.
Reality Bites.
Singles,
Yeah,
then
Singles.
like even Slacker, my
Yes.
first film, Brothers
Yes.
McMullen, right? Now that we find ourselves in our 50s, there are no films about us. Our story is not being told.
That is not right.
Yeah, so that was the original idea.
Well, you know, I think we can make middle age great again. It's certainly complicated. Tell me a little bit about these siblings and it's marital ups and downs, and
Yeah.
I think a lot of people will identify with this.
Well, there are two things I was looking at. One was sort of when you become an empty nester, you know, how do you redefine your marriage? You know, how do you redefine yourself? Like, if I am no longer actively parenting, what do I do? But then also a big thing that I wanted to explore with that is all three of the couples, at least one or both folks in it, are an artist. And what is it like to be someone, you know, in middle age? Do I still have anything left to say? Do I still have the passion to say it? If I do, in the case of, let's say, Gretchen Moll's character, will anyone care?
Yeah.
So those were kind of the things that I was curious about exploring.
Gretchen Moll, Minnie Driver, Campbell Scott,
Patrick Wilson, Ben Bratt, you know,
it's
Marina Baccarin. Yeah.
Look at this. This is an incredible cast.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny because, you know, not all these marriages are going well.
Yep.
I don't think that's a spoiler alert. And yet you have one of the most, like, noted, lovely marriages that people know about, you and Christy Turlington Burns.
You can't make a movie about that because that would be boring.
It would be boring. But wait a minute, you have a little homage to Christy in this.
I did.
A little tweak.
I didn't even tell her about it until she saw the film, and she's like, "Are you kidding me?
So
you
what
put
is
that
it?
in the movie?" So there's a scene in the beginning of the movie where Gretchen Moll is making her morning smoothie, and it annoys Patrick Wilson's character, her husband, because the sound of the blender woke her up. And I am definitely guilty of making my smoothies just as Christy gets on the phone in the kitchen.
You're like, press on.
She's like, thanks.
Did she recognize it right away?
Oh, immediately. Because it's been a running gag in our marriage for 22, 21 years. Yeah.
So this is not something that's never been reported before, but I don't think most people know, and I just love this fun fact about you. You and Christy have been married a long time. Your brother married Christy's sister.
Yeah.
And they've been married a long time.
They've been married a long time.
I mean, so wait, how did this, who met who first? There you guys are, you're so cute.
Yeah, we were first, and they kind of, as we would do, like, sort of group vacations, you know, couple vacations, there was a little flirtation going on between them, but nothing kind of came of it.
Did you guys say, like, hey, what about this?
Well, no, we were like, guys, you cannot, this can't be some sort of fling or anything.
Oh, right.
But then at our wedding, Christy and I are dancing. We look over, and they're dancing on the dance floor.
Wait, at your wedding?
Yeah.
That's when they made it.
And that's when it started. Yeah.
Wow.
I figured maybe they thought it's safe now. All right, they're married. We can't screw this up.
Oh, that's epic. Okay, tell me about Brothers McMullen. Last time you were here, you had just finished the script.
Yep.
We're moving forward. Where are we now?
We start shooting April 1st. Connie Britton is back as Molly. Mike McMullen is back as the younger brother Patrick. It's called The Family McMullen, the sequel. And it's really the two brothers and Connie. It's sort of like the brothers and sister-in-law McMullen.
Okay.
I killed off the oldest brother, quite honestly, to give Connie a bigger part and more to do.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a spoiler, but so it's really now she's one of the primary characters in it.
Well, I love it. Thank you for writing stories about us, Gen Xers.
And again, it's another Gen X story.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And Miller's in Marriage, really, really good. Thank you so much, Eddie.
Thank you.
Good to see you. And it's in theaters and on digital tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.